Hello everybody, it is me, Jordan Young, and this is another certified Hood Classic bussin' banger. Today, I'm gonna be taking you guys through a pretty epic sneaker trade that I did this past week. It involves two pretty big, heavy bangers from the collection, and it involves getting in a few pairs of shoes for my second channel, my golf channel, which if you guys aren't yet subscribed to, I really would appreciate your support over there. So let's go through the deal. First of all, I want to say that I love trading. I haven't done a big sneaker trade in some time, but there's just something I really like about taking some stuff from the collection and then trading it out to get something fresh in, something new in, something different in. And I'm going to be interested in your guys' opinions, particularly those of you guys out there that aren't golfers, as to whether or not you think I took a dub or an L on this trade. So first and foremost, let's go through the shoes that I traded. First of all, we have a pair of the Off-White Air Jordan 4s. You guys know this shoe. This is arguably one of the best Off-White collabs of all time. It's a size UK 10, women's 12.5. These have been used, as you can see from the condition in the video here. I would rate them like a solid, maybe like 7.5, 8 out of 10. A little bit of creasing, a little bit of wear, a little bit of scuffing. Nothing in the way of star loss or heel drag, just some general wear. These did come with OG all except for the cable tie. Man, the cable tie fell off when I was wearing these a few years ago at a sneaker event, and I've never been able to retrieve it or find the replacement. So that is pair number one, the Off-White 4s in a UK 10, right around 8 out of 10 condition. Second pair is a pair of Air Jordan 4 Travis Scotts. Again, UK 10, US 11. Some general wear marks, a few scuffs here and there, a little bit of fading on the uppers, but no star loss, no heel drag, no big bad blemishes. And these also come with OG all, including the hang tag. Now, in terms of coming up with a market value for both of these pairs in 2025, it's kind of tricky because obviously prices to a large extent on these bigger pairs have fallen off, particularly if they're not DS. And so I would roughly appraise the value of the Off-White 4s at maybe around £600 to £700, maybe like 800 bucks US, thereabouts. And then for the Travises, I would probably appraise them at between maybe like 350, 450 pounds, maybe like 550 to 600 bucks. Now I would place those values on the slightly more realistic end. I'm sure some of you guys out there might probably think I could have gotten a whole bunch more, but that's where I would sort of value them. Now I paid 900 pounds for the Off-Whites a few years ago. I paid right around 400 pounds for the Travises, so I am into these shoes right around 1,300 pounds, and given their current condition, I would say I'd be pretty lucky to get maybe a grand 1,100 pounds out of them. So that's what was being traded on my end. Right, so let's talk about what I got in exchange for these two pairs of Air Jordan 4s. I got 3 pairs of golf shoes. Now I know some of you guys are probably like slapping yourselves in the forehead now thinking, oh my God, this guy just traded away some absolute heat for bloody golf shoes. What is bro on? Don't forget, got my golf channel, building the golf content. I'm looking to get some really cool golf shoes into the collection. So we've got here 3 pairs of golf shoes from the 2019 Masters pack, and I'm going to tell you the story behind this Masters pack and why these shoes are so rare in a moment. But first of all, let's go through the model. So we have the Nike Roshe Run, Nike React Vapor 2, and then the Nike Victory Tours. All brand new, all DS, never worn, OG all. The Roshes and the Vapors are in a UK 9, US 10, and then the Victory Tours are in a US 11. Also got some cash on top of the shoes as well, 230 quid, around 280 bucks just to sweeten the deal. So for me, on my end, I'm personally happy. Some of you out there might still be scratching your head, so let me explain to you why these golf shoes are so epic. First of all, they're part of a pack that was supposed to release back in 2019 for the Masters tournament, one of the 4 majors, arguably the most prestigious, but these never actually got released. These were cancelled by Nike, who cited unforeseen circumstances, but the story is that Nike were actually sent a cease and desist letter from Augusta National Golf Club telling them not to release these shoes. And the reason why Augusta didn't want Nike to release these shoes is because they feature this little logo on the upper which depicts some praying hands. And the praying hands are a subtle nod to Amen Corner, which is a 3-hole stretch on the back nine at Augusta National that has given rise to some of the most epic fall-offs or dramatic moments in Masters history. And because Augusta owned trademarks over Amen Corner, any subtle references or overt references is seen as copyright infringement, and Nike didn't want to upset Augusta, and so they complied and pulled the release. But some pairs ended up getting out, including the 3 that I now have in my collection. So if you go looking around for these shoes, there's a handful on eBay in the USA. There's none to speak of in the UK. StockX sales are pretty sparse. If you look at some of the sales data pertaining to some of these shoes from the past, they've been selling for crazy money. And because I'm now in the business of now reviewing golf shoes on my channel, as well as making golf content, as well as continuing on my hobby of collecting sneakers of all kinds, these seems like a perfect addition to the now growing golf shoe collection. So now you know why these things are so special. They're a little bit like the Freddy Krueger SBs or the Heineken SBs. They were meant to come out, the cease and desist came about, they were recalled, or they were supposed to be recalled. A few pairs got out into the market, and so as a collector, getting your hands on these types of shoes is like what it is all about. And when it comes to the guy that I met up with, he managed to come up on these pairs, believe it or not, in the outlets down in South Africa, which is kind of crazy to think. If you look at the whole collection, I feel like the 3 that I have are probably 3 of the best. The only other pair I would say is like really worth trying to chase after or worth getting is the Air Jordan 11. Otherwise, I'm pretty satisfied with these 3. Now, in terms of putting a value on these 3 pairs to determine whether or not it was an equitable trade, I mean, it's a hard one. These are the types of pairs that you can ask whatever you want. There really are hardly any out there, particularly in these types of sizes. So I guess from a value perspective, you could much more readily sell the Off-White 4s and the Travis 4s. There's a way bigger market for those particular pairs where you could sell them on the same day without much trouble. With these types of pairs, they're obviously longer holds. They're the types of things that you might have to hold on to for years in order to wait around for the right type of buyer to pay the money, but you can ask for whatever you want price-wise. And so value-wise, it's a tricky one. In terms of the content value for me and my page, these things have been a fantastic addition to be able to share the story. It's always fun to recall a tale where Nike are on the end of being sued rather than them suing someone else. I happen to think that all 3 of these golf shoes are absolutely beautiful looking. I mean, the snakeskin upper, colorways, the chrome finishes, that little logo, knowing what it means and represents, are all wicked in my opinion. So not only are these wicked additions to the collection, but they've been valuable for the content, and they're potentially like higher value holds long term. Now the question is, do I wear these on the golf course? Do I keep them pristine? Do I pop them online to try and sell for some crazy money? I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. But I am really satisfied with the trade. The Off-White 4s, as you guys know, are a real pain in the ass to maintain. Every time you wear them, they get a little bit worse looking, and they're just so hard to revive and restore and bring back to life. The Travis 4s, I will miss. That is a cool pair. That is a really dope colorway, and yeah, we haven't had any other Travis 4s since those, and so yeah, I will miss the Travis 4s. I'm happy, I know that's all that matters, but in the spirit of community and camaraderie, let me know what you guys think. Even if you're not a golfer, was this a W trade? Was it an L? Feel free to sound off and let me know what you guys thought down below. And once again, if you're not following my golf channel, I really would appreciate you guys going over there, giving it a sub. Go and check out the full-length video over there talking about this Masters collection. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Take care for now, and peace.